And I just read today, and I want to see if you think I do this. I just read today that at work, if you have a disagreement with someone, or you want someone to do better or correct them, you use a supportive voice and not like an "I told you so" type of voice. You try to support instead of challenge.
Are there examples?
Yes. When someone does something that you don't like, you start by saying, "You did very well with this, and I think you could have improved it by doing it this way." Instead of saying "but," you always say and you support. Your tone has to be uplifting and not like, "Why did you do that? What in the world?" You know, that kind of thing.
You failed already at that.
Well, your tone you can do. But see, unless you're watching on camera, there's one thing you can't hide, and that's your face.
My face.
You're an eye cutter.
Yeah.
When you don't like something, you cut. That's what I noticed just now was you were cutting your eyes at me, and I'm going, "What did I do?"
Yeah.
You can't hide that. You could use an uplifting voice all you want.
It's the eyes.
It's the eyes. You cut those first.
They cut, they dart, and that's when you knew something had just gone wrong. Nothing you could have done about that. You know, already you were 5 to 7 minutes late today. It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Roughly 5, but I see you headed up 7.
These things happen.
They happen. Well, I looked at the clock, 7 after. You came in, you apologized. Chris Demm said, "We accept."
I toyed with asking you, "Is everything all right?" But I was afraid I'd get snapped at because I know how you can be.
Sometimes you do that. You snap us. But we didn't know. Maybe you fell in the shower again. Maybe you fell while walking your dog again. Maybe it's gastrointestinal. We thought all of those things. We chatted with each other.
Yeah, a 5-minute delay in Biggie's arrival. There are only a few things that could be.
Well, there you are.
Like you can't get into your car, which almost happened last week.
That's right. Yeah, because people
park too
closely to you. And so what I'm trying to do is support and say, "Great job getting here."
See, I'm trying not to be as snappy. So that's why I gave a 5. I sent a text that said, "I'm running 5 behind."
That's fine.
And then when I got here, I apologized.
Yes, that's right. And we immediately accepted. I mean, Chris Demm did. He said,
"We're all trying to be better people."
Trying to be better people. That's what we're trying to do. I thought to myself when you were running late, is there anything I can do to help? What can I do? Because you're my best friend. And I try to get in there for you. You know what I mean?
Would you have maybe run into the parking lot and open the gate for him so he didn't have to do that, wait that 16 seconds while the gate slowly opens?
Yeah, I could have done something like that. But I knew you were coming and you were on, it was fine. What caused your delay, if I might ask?
Just couldn't get going.
I did not have that on the list.
And that's okay. That's okay. You need some time to yourself. You need mental.
Watch your tone. I like the way you came in the door, and you were late. How's that? Is that better?
There's some days it's gastrointestinal, some days it's the dog fault. This was a classic, got out of the shower, toweled off, sat back down on the bed for a minute, just started thumbing through stuff on my phone.
Oh, no. Mistake. Mistake.
And then I kind of went down a rabbit hole. I got real into that Monday Night Football stats. And the next thing I know, I'm still pantsless, and it's time for me to normally be walking out the door.
Okay. Right. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you deserve that. As hard as you work, you deserve a little time to yourself.
I guess I think I glanced at the clock wrong initially.
It happens.
As I breezed by, towel around me, I thought, oh, I took a shower quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I think I confused like
a 4 and a 9.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
And then when I looked at the clock again, I said, oh, God.
I got to get out of here.
Omicron, I'm late.
Omicron.
That's exactly. That's right. Hey. We're all friends. We're friends in here. That's exactly right. Wait, and this was something, and I wanted to run this by you. For whatever reason, it hit me today. Biggie's done a lot lately. He's been talking to HR about we need to do this and we need to do that. And what you've done is you've gotten some results because we have gotten the things you've asked for. And I thought there are 2 phrases, and they're in direct this is all about how you treat other people. They're really in direct contradiction to each other. You know, you've always heard the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you complain
the loudest,
you get
noticed.
You get noticed. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other one is you can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar, which really means you've got to be sweet about it at the same time.
People will be more likely to assist you if you're kind.
If you're nice, yeah. One time, my friend Terry, we were in the airport. We'd come back from a trip. We worked together, and her luggage didn't arrive. And we saw her behind the glass, like pointing her finger at somebody.
Yeah.
And another coworker said, you know, you catch more flies with honey, because she was you could tell she was irate, of course, because her luggage hadn't come back in. So are those two things? And I guess they're not in direct competition with each other, because you can complain but be nice about it at the same time.
I think that's kind of the tone I try to go for.
Oh, you do well
if
with
something's wrong, I'm never's not the right word. I try not to be rude about things.
Well, you've divaed out a few times.
I do diva out occasionally, but sometimes when things
that word occasionally made me. You know, you do.
Yeah, I bet that's in your file.
Yeah. Will diva out.
Does diva out.
Can be a diva.
Can be diva-ish.
But sometimes when there's changes to things, especially with work and money, I like to be thorough.
That's right.
And check with things. But to me, it's like I'm very pleasant to coworkers.
I think so.
I
think so. That's right. I agree.
Especially coworkers that handle our money.
Yeah. That's a big thing for you. Monies.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I guess that'll be my New Year's resolution. Build up, use better tone, terminology, no more cutting my eyes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but you're 50 years into one way.
That's right. So you got to break that.
You're the same at your house, right? I mean, you snap more, I think, at your family.
Well, a lot of there's snapping,
but then you keep it under the surface, then you explode.
My son used a term last night, fake jolly. He said, you can be all, as he was answering me, I was asking him questions last night about school and this kind of thing. And he was like, and he went to take the garbage out. And I turned to my wife and said, I'm about tired of the sullen teenage grunting giving me answers. So when he came back in, he was on his way upstairs to his room. And I said, hold on just a second. And he went, and he turned back around.
What?
I said, look, I've worked the same amount. I've worked a long day. You've worked a long day. We've both done the same thing. We both went to the same gym, both done the same things. Here we are. I'm having a conversation with you. I'm tired. You're tired. But at least I can speak and say yes and no and talk to you. And he said, yeah, but you like to turn on the fake jolly, and I just can't turn on fake jolly. And I said, well, I'm not being fake jolly right now.
He's figured you out.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not asking you to be jolly. I'm just asking you to say the words yes and no and converse with me instead of and
just grunting.
Yeah, and about putting your phone down and actually having a 2-minute conversation with me instead of just grunt and groan.
And you could say things as a parent too, like, I'm just trying to head off you ruining Christmas with your grades.
Right. Right.
That's what my parents used to say to me.
Yeah.
Because I do that, no, yeah, fine.
Right.
And my dad would look at me, he'd be like, you see, son, I'm just trying to head off you ruining summer vacation with your grades.
With your grades.
Mm-hmm. So if you're failing now, tell us now.
Exactly.
So we can plan accordingly.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I told Kristen, he had just come in from the gym. We're doing 12 days of fitness. Mm-hmm. And
that sounds brutal.
It really is. Every day. Today's day 7, so there'll be a 7-minute challenge somewhere on the room, in the room. And so it's called the 12 Days of Fitness, and you have to complete 7 of 12 to get a beanie or toboggan.
Oh, okay.
And so that's going to be nice. I'm going to wear that in here.
With gym colors?
Yep. And I'm going to wear that in when I complete it. I brought my medal in from my pickleball championship.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
I left it in the office, but I'll put it around I'll drape it around my neck.
You can't leave that laying around.
No, you're right. That's a good point. This is a gold medal.
Come on.
Chris Demm says his wife's going through the same thing at her gym.
Planksgiving.
They're in the middle of Planksgiving.
Oh. Yeah. It started late this year.
Yeah. We should compare notes. The 12 Days of Fitness versus Planksgiving. What's she plankful for this year?
Yeah, what are you
fitness.
plankful for?
Her fitness. Mm-hmm. That's what she's plankful for. Exactly. I have this. I'll tell you, this is exciting. Every day, a mentor who used to work with us sends in the 5 topics Americans are talking about most. And I think this is like the second time this year. 5 for 5. All 5 of them today. Well, one, I'm going to count it. We already talked about it. It's that Mariah Carey menu at McDonald's. for the holidays. She's made a commercial for it, and I guess you can get it now.
We announced this a month ago.
Yeah, we've had that. So we've talked about it. So I said, well, we've already got it. The other ones are, they're all coming here later today. There's some controversy surrounding Drake. That'll be during the entertainment report. Marijuana is in the news. I have that.
You sure do.
I was just...
What's it in the news? I'm excited for this. I haven't heard.
Well, I was just talking with Chris Demm about grass a minute ago. Back in the office. Apparently, they are talking about, as it becomes more legal in more states, taxing it more and making more money for states that legalize it. And that is becoming close to a reality now. In several states, they're talking about, legalizing, making it official. And
it'll be interesting to see if this tax windfall takes shape as people think it will, because it's early yet. California's only had it legal for a few years.
Yeah.
But everything I have read, not everything, but many things I've read say that Californians, the legal weed business is thriving.
Yes.
Because you don't have to pay your taxes that way.
Okay, what are you saying? So you're saying that they don't pay taxes?
People are still selling it illegally.
Oh, you're saying the illegal weed business is still thriving.
Correct.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, that's funny because when states started to legalize it, I guess California, Colorado were first. I said this is going to be a windfall for those states.
Yeah, this is our way on
the taxes is going to really help.
So I'm saying, the jury's still out.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, and he said that at the time. I remember you saying that at the time. I always just see it like, oh yeah, great, and then you
don't just flip a switch.
It's never as it seems. It never. There's always something to it. There's
That's
always
what Chris Demm's great at.
He's great.
He always goes inside.
No, it's true.
He's normally right.
Yeah.
It's really what bugs me. Like every time I go see a band on a finale tour, it always sits with me because I just picture Chris Demm going, "They're coming back," and I'm always like, "No, they're not. This is it. They signed a contract," and he's always right.
He does see below the surface level. When something happens, and you go, "Oh, it's fantastic," he'll be like, "Well, wait a minute. Let's slow down and look at the details of it and that kind of thing." So, when we got the state lottery 20 years ago, I said our schools are going to be shining cities on the hill.
Absolutely.
They're going to be
the kids will have trouble getting down the halls because there's so much cash blocking their way.
Now we're 20 years in.
Yeah.
Maybe he was right. Maybe they're not. Maybe we're not as flush with cash as I thought. He said they'll divert that cash to pay for other things. I said impossible. They'll never do that. He said, yeah, they will. They'll take it and do it.
In fact, locally, once again, taxpayers are asked to build like 22 schools.
Yeah. That's the kind of
Chris
thing.
Demm's right again.
He sent me a great article, Chris Demm, on what causes marijuana to smell skunky. They've gone inside the numbers on this. Yeah. I don't know why he thought I would be interested in this.
Yeah, I don't think I sent that to the group. Just
to me. It was scientists reveal cause behind unmistakable odor of cannabis and skunky smelling.
We smelled a good bit of it during the Christmas tree lighting.
Did you?
A fair amount.
Not at your home. This was
in the public square.
I didn't make it this year.
It's not the normal pine smell.
Is that a Scotch pine or a Fraser fir?
Wait a minute. Do you know? I do, every year there's something here where they light. Every city I guess.
Yeah.
They light the tree.
The big community tree.
It's a huge. It's called the Festival of Lights. You walk around. I love it. We go almost every year. This year we couldn't, but usually we go, and it's a really nice street fair. Are you telling me that odor, which I thought was the Fraser fir, that's roasting marijuana?
Well, not this year. Not definitely roasting marijuana.
It was marijuana. Mm-hmm. So along with the kettle corn and the cotton candy and those wonderful smells, you smelled marijuana
for sure.
It's
unmistakable.
Well, we're back. It's festive. It's a it's a time to be festive. Obviously, this year.
So is it a chemical in the?
Yes.
In the plant itself, it has to be.
It is in the plant itself, and they say it's most smelly during they did greenhouse experiments and found it was most smelly during the flowering time of the plant. So it's like at its peak, when I guess you usually, I don't know these things, roll it or whatever and light it. I don't know when it's done.
Yeah.
I don't know
how it makes it into your pocket.
I don't know. I don't know
at what stage in the plant life.
In plant life.
Yeah, I don't know when you harvest them.
Exactly. But apparently it is about that time. However, as it becomes more and more legalized at different states, they say that different strains of it, and there are hundreds and hundreds now of marijuana strains have different odors. So, it's not
that's probably true.
So it's kind of like coffee or beer or wine. Now they have different fragrances.
Yeah.
So when you smell it, it's not always the same. Well, at the bottom of the article was like, can anything be done about it? And the answer was absolutely not. This is what it is. It's baked into the product.
That's what it smells like.
Yeah. It's like it's skunky. That's just what you're going to get. Exactly. So that's what else are people talking about? We've got news about Travis Scott. He's asked one of the judges to dismiss one of the lawsuits he's facing after that Astro World where the people got trampled at Astro World. And he thinks he's going to get a win in at least one of these cases. Because there are hundreds of lawsuits against him. I kind
of went on a little bit of a deep dive on this. It's hundreds and hundreds of cases.
Yes.
And I think they're trying to get them all consolidated down to like one judge.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I've never heard of anything quite like this.
Yeah, he's trying to do that.
And it's all going to be handled at once, although he's already answered and said, not, I don't know if plead not guilty or what he's basically said no to all this. I'm not.
Yeah, he says he's not responsible or at fault for any of this, even though he has had a history. Our attorney told us, Lisa Lanier, our official attorney, told us that because he egged on the crowd and because he had a history of egging on things like this at other events, that he was going to be in some trouble for this. So we'll wait and see, but he's in the news on that. And Biggie mentioned the Monday Night Football game. Now, the Patriots beat the Bills last night 14-10. Incredibly strong winds in Buffalo last night. Swirling snow before the game.
Yeah, I didn't see as much snow like at kickoff.
I wanted to be snow.
It would have been amazing, but the winds were gusting to 46.
I watched the first quarter.
Yeah, I watched about the first half.
And neither team could really throw the ball. It was difficult. And the Patriots, this is the headline, Mac Jones, the Patriots quarterback, his final stat line last night, 2 for 3 for 19 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw the ball 3 times. The Patriots ran the ball 97% of the time last night, and he threw it 3 times.
I suppose this would be one of those questions you could ask later, maybe when the season is done. Why throw it 3 times?
Yep, exactly.
Could they have gone an entire game just handing the ball off every single time?
Yeah, I bet they could have. I mean, why not? He only got 19 yards. They still would have won the game without him. He didn't throw for a touchdown. They had one long run, which I saw, to go up, and they went for 2. They went up 8-0, and the run was like 60-something yards. That's basically the game.
The kickers pregame had a real hard time figuring out the angles.
One guy said when we're kicking in one direction was much worse than the other, and both kickers, in fact, said we can't. I can't even extra
points.
Guarantee it. That's why they went for 2.
Yeah,
the Patriots scored into the wind, and then he was like, "I'm not even kicking the extra point." Belichick.
Yeah,
that's.
I'll tell you, they said too that who would have thought the opening coin toss would mean so much?
Huge.
Because that meant you picked the wind.
Yeah. I guess the Bills won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the Patriots got their choice of end of field.
That's traditional what you do when you win.
But they were saying that maybe the coach should have said, wind is more important. Wind is more important. I can speak to this from a pickleball perspective.
Okay.
Are we out of time? Are you saying?